It's early. Breakfast of champions right now. It's a blistering like 10 degrees outside today. Gotta get some stuff done in the office. Some cleaning, some tuning, and I figured I would knock out a video that a couple people have asked me for. I have gotten the flylens 85. I call Flow, F-L-O. And that's probably been one of the trickiest quads to tune that I've ever had. And mostly because Oh, Ron Perlman. I don't know what I'm watching. I just turned the TV on. Alright, one sec here. I gotta put it on the computer. Okay. So, like I said, I use the DJI remote for this one because I wanted the reliability of the transmission system on both the video and controller. Alright. And it's got short throw sticks. Man, I can't see without my fucking glasses on anymore. And it's been a challenge because if you're new to flying in FPV, there's a category called slow flow, S-L-O-F-L-O, and it's all about just smooth, cinematic, really beautiful lines. And obviously the way you edit it with the music and all that stuff, and that is my genre, that is my calling, that is just absolutely what I love doing with the other guys flying. And this is perfect. I want the reliability of the Avata, but take away all of the pain in the ass sensors and all that other stuff, because that is the root of my flying, and I'm more confident without all of those extra perks. This isn't meant to be flown super far away, so I'm not worried about GPS and any of that stuff. But I want the confidence that the Avata has, where if you shoot a gap a long distance away, it's going to make it. And it's tough with analog because you start getting breakup or, whatever. With HD, there's no compromise. You can see a million times better, and with aging eyes, it makes the world of difference. But like I said, I don't want the sensors and stuff like that. So when I pick my line or decelerating to go underneath something, I'm not fighting sensors and stuff like that. And the real acro that's built into this is phenomenal. The Avata is not bad. I'm not a freestyle pilot per se. Really don't fly that way that much anymore, and I did a lot. But as heavy as the Avata is and its design, it's not meant for hardcore freestyle. Not that I do it. Again, it's more of a cinematic freestyle. I'm going to come up with a new title for it, but this thing's perfect. I absolutely love it. Now, there's a couple points to this video. It's going to be showing you my tune because multiple people have asked, and to talk about the props. I have switched out the props. I liked the props that were on there. They were good. I wanted a little bit more control, and there's pros and cons to going from 2 to 3 to 4 to whatever blade based on your flight style. If you're very consistent on throttle and your lines are smooth and you're not jumping throttle a hell of a whole lot, I like more blade. These are by far on 2S the quietest blades props I have ever seen. If you were looking for the absolute quietest 4-blade 2S props, these are and I didn't even know, and it's crazy. Gemfan Hulkies have been my favorite props in the micro game since I've started flying. I had them in every color, and I had 2-blade, I've had 3-blade. I did not know they made 4. And while looking for props for this, I happened to stumble upon them. And I've been doing a lot of testing the last couple days with these props on the rebuild that I just did after Pearl broke. I swapped all my Sinister parts off of a frame that I built and flew twice, and just like, you know what? And then put it back onto a different frame and tried these props. Actually, I'll just get it and show you. This is the HGLRC GT20 go-kart frame. This was intentionally built for a 2S setup, and the board shit the bed while doing prop testing, and no explanation. Just stopped turning on with the power. I could plug it in USB. It's all good. It happens. Can't figure it out. No big deal. So I really like this frame and the way it's set up. So I took all the guts out of... I had just literally built this thing. And it just sat on the shelf. It was really cool. Interesting setup. Very unique. You don't see anybody else flying it. But, as I drop it. But I question its reliability, especially when I fall from trees, when I get stuck in them, that this thing's just going to shatter. And it's kind of no recovery at that point. So I swapped it over to here. And like I said yesterday, I was testing 4-blade, and these are 6-blade on here. These are obnoxious. It sounds kind of like a turbine airplane. The pitch noise is lower, but they're louder. But I get a great flight time, 5 to 6 minutes. Let's just call it that. We'll range it. And that is, again, kind of slow flow, steady pace. Even at a faster, steady pace, these worked better on here than these. These were insanely loud on 3S. Funny how that works. But back to the root of this. So this thing's uber quiet. I have the response I need, and I have been ultra tweaking the tune on this, and I want to show you guys what I've had to do to get it. So I got to figure out how to prop you here. Let's set you here. See if that works. Oh, look at that. So I've had to, I call it extreme compared to what I'm used to tuning, and to get it to where I want to fly. All right. I'm going to pick you back up in a sec. Give me, just trying to get this guy to sit. That doesn't matter. All right. So let's go right into the PIDs. PID tuning. Ignore that red bar because my slider, I don't use the sliders on this. So here are the PIDs. And I think I could go up just a touch more based on wind and resistance, and my eye gains just a little bit. It gives you that feeling of locked in on rails. But so far, so good. But what really extremely changed is look how low the rates are. And I could probably go lower. Right here. Oh, let me scroll down. The pitch, that was my biggest fight, was being able to really go slow. And I still, if I top of the throttle, I can still rip around. And then my throttle curve, because I can't do that, any of that in the remote, I had to drop the throttle mid to 0.18. And then throttle expo is at 0.50, sorry. So that really knows kind of where it wants to hover. So your movements, you have a little bit of play to kind of keep it sort of centered so you're not jumping up and down. That took a lot because that controller, and again, as a usually caffeinated person, then with a bad wrist, because I got a freaking horrible injury, I can start to twitch sometimes, especially when caffeinated. That shows up in that throttle movement. So I've really got to fight that, and adding that expo and stuff helped. But I liked being able to, in that controller, be able to adjust. And again, I've got a long throw here, which really, really helps. And I put a lot of tension on my throttle. So you've really got to force it up to, so it really sticks. Love it. Absolutely love it. I miss it. But I'm not using actual rates. I'm very happy with that. And I said the only thing I may add to this is just a little bit more eye gain after I fly it outside it. Because some of these bandos and stuff have breeze and wind, same thing, in them, and to be able to fight it just a little bit more, but we'll see. But like I said, I've tweaked. This is mild, so if I do any light freestyle, the flip is not horribly fast. And that, so far, has been the game changer right here, is lowering them down that far. And it might be even more. Who knows? Like I said, the idea is to be able to, if you're cruising around and you see, let's pretend that's a gap, to be able to just almost go to a crawl, to be able to just squeak through it and get around through that gap and then get back up and go. Where before, it just felt like the thing wanted to always rip. Right out of the box, it wanted to rip. And if you're only going to do freestyle and faster stuff outside, not worry about going really slow, then you don't need to go that extreme. But I don't see many people putting out their rates and PIDs and stuff like that for this, so I hope this helps. So then I'll go back real quick to that. Again, when sliders have not been modified, they're off, so it does not want to fly away. I didn't mess with any of these. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in this thing, reach out to me, answer any questions. It is an absolutely amazing flyer. Oh, for batteries, let's go before I quit this. If you want a short pack, if you've got a very small line, like if you're looking for a particular shot, 650s will work. You'll get about 2 minutes, maybe 3 depending on warm weather, no wind. I have some 730s/720s that within the same range. You'll get about 4 minutes if you're flying slow. And you got 2 different battery size 3D prints. I got actually extras. One of the cool little mods that I did to this was these are extremely tight. If you own this quad, you'll understand more than not. Trying to slide the battery into this thing's an absolute pain in the ass. So what I did, and what I recommend, is while it's not on here, take your 1000 milliamp flywoo battery, or whatever you're using that fits. If it's a little tight, like the flywoo 1000 milliamp are just a little too tight, slide it into it, and then I grabbed my lighter and I went around the 3D printed part just a little bit and let it cool back down. And what that does is let it stretch just a little more around it, so when you go to slide it in, it slides in nice and easy. Still holds it plenty of tension, but you're not fighting it when you try to get in there. And you could do the same with the 720 battery one, so it doesn't break, because at some point of sliding this in and out, because it's just a 3D print and it's thin, where it goes into that little keyhole, it's gonna rip. So taking some of that tension off. And what makes it a little bit easier, obviously, don't put the battery into this and then try to slide it on. There's not enough room up here. And there's 2 holes. So with the 720-ish style one, you want to use the front hole. You have to. I mean, you don't have to, but with the 1000 you have to go back because it hits here if you try to do it in the front. Easy enough. If you didn't watch the last video on this, I changed the mount for the camera. I flipped this plate, which was super fucking fun. These little rubber isolators are a nightmare with old hands and eyes to try to squeeze out and then flip, because it originally comes lower on the bottom half. And I found that I was getting jello, because the wire, which you can see but I can't point to really well, the wire that comes off of this that's run underneath there was kind of, damn it, it was pushed down and laying on the frame with tension. No matter what I did and how I wiggled it in there, it had tension. And that translated into the camera because it was kind of pushing up on it. So I decided to flip it, lifted it up a little bit. It doesn't affect the profile of this thing because your battery is always going to sit higher. And it helped with the ambient glow that's coming off the LEDs not pick up as much inside the camera. And as OCD as I am, I went and I shaved a little bit of this 3D printed mount so there is no part of it touching these little rubber isolators, so when it's pushing down there's no friction, trying to eliminate any chance of vibration. What led to these, I threw them away. Let's see if they're at the top of the garbage can here. Yep. I forgot who made these props, and I've had these literally since the beginning of flying. Not this exact one, but this brand. And I found the same thing back in the day, and I threw them away back in the day because I had the Blade Torrent 110. That's the quad that I learned acro on. And I got these for it, and they just shake. I put these on here to fly, and while flying, I'm like, holy crap, they're super quiet. And it flew good. But then reviewing the footage, like all the analog stuff I flew, they just shake. And the vibration, I don't know if they're just not balanced well or what the hell it is, but they suck. They absolutely suck. I just don't remember who the hell makes them. but I don't recommend them. So I think that's it. There's an LED inside the ring of this thing, and I swapped it from the blue that it came with to the green. I picked up a clear canopy and was experimenting, making my own, which was cool. So the back half was green and the front half was like a lighter blue white, and it can be done if you're handy with a soldering iron. It's not as easy as it's made out to be, which some people, oh, you just swap it out and you unplug it and you put a new one in here. There's double-sided tape. It sticks to this pretty freaking well, and when you pull out the LED, because it is fragile, you're most likely going to break it. So be prepared. It will slide and friction fit in there with leaving the backing on the double-sided tape on and will not fall out. I would recommend that, or just put a dab of glue all the way around just a little bit if you're thinking about changing it out. Or if you have backup canopies, you could just put them into that, and then it takes about 2 minutes. There's 4 screws on the outside that go all the way through to right here. You kind of release it and then you gently slide the naked 03 air unit, giggity naked, through the opening, pops out, and then on the inside here you just have a small 3D print that holds a couple plugs. Unplug, plug, done deal. And that's it. The plug, the way that it comes from the factory, mine obviously is a little bit offset, starts in the front. You could, in theory, turn this thing and have it in the back or wherever you wanted to, but the plug design with that 3D print, it's meant to come from the front. Just a heads up. But yeah, you could change this out and make it any color. Like I said, look, where's the clear one? Clear one just has the LED in the back, and then you can see it's got some of the residue for ripping out the front part, which is an absolute pain in the ass, but it can be done. So I got some ideas. Actually, I'll leave this here. I got some ideas on a possible build with using that thing, so we'll see. But that is my conversation about the flylens 85 from flywoo, and I hope it helps. I hope the pids help. Any other questions that I can help you with, hit me up. Oh yeah, this little plastic thing around here is super fragile and breaks, so get extras. I got a couple extras. Add the foam to it, and it'll help you. But yeah, I've tried to use my soldering gun to kind of re-weld over it to hold it together. Any little bump will smash and break those little things. I would have used a different material if I was the one building that, but I'm going to look and see if there's a 3D print out there. I don't mind adding a tiny amount of weight to it if it means that it'll hold up a little bit longer and look a little bit cooler. We'll see. Could do black, even do a light blue, because I got a blue. Got a cool blue right there. So yeah, enjoy. Hope it helped. Peace out.